Hello and welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is TURI and I am a once certified RBT that is now assisting others enter the field of ABA the right way. If you are here because you are looking for tips and tricks to study and pass your RBT exam, don't go far, we're gonna get right into it. Real quick, if you are not following me on Instagram, please be sure to do so, ABA_source. We learn a lot on there, we talk a lot, we get together as a community. So if you're interested in the field and you're just coming in, that is a really good place to start. So go ahead and follow me and I'll see you there. So the first resource that I recommend you use to study for your upcoming RBT board exam is your 40-hour training. I know, it's probably not something you wanted to hear, but it is so important that you take your 40-hour training seriously. Your 40-hour training, although super insanely long and maybe not the most exciting part of our journey, it is definitely the foundation of everything that's going to be on the RBT board exam. That being said, be sure to write down any areas that you did not really understand and go back and review those areas when you're finished. If by the time you review them and you still don't understand, it's definitely going to be the time for you to take that to your trainer and ask them, because you do want to know everything that is in the 40-hour training, because you will most likely see it again in your board exam. Okay, the second resource I have that you may utilize to study for your upcoming RBT board exam is RBT Jeopardy. It's actually a free resource. I will leave the link in the description box. And it's just a fun way to get your, get your head out of the books or out of reading paragraphs on paragraphs and doing the hardcore studying, and just a fun way to review everything. You can also have teams while playing Jeopardy. So if you're going through the journey with somebody else or a few other people, you guys can make groups together and have a Jeopardy winner. The next thing I recommend you do is find yourself a really good RBT study guide. Now, why do I recommend this? Well, the 40-hour training is 40 hours of content, 40 hours of ABA content. So if you think back to college or high school when your professor gives you, you have to meet this many pages and you just kind of use filler words because you're just trying to meet the criteria. It's kind of the same idea here. So the 40-hour training kind of has things that are just repeated and repeated and repeated, which can be good in a way to hear things over and over again, but that means that there's different material everywhere and it's just not condensed, right? So finding a good study guide is going to condense the 40-hour training down to the most important aspects that you really should focus on. You can of course look for any RBT study guide, but since this is my channel, I'm going to go ahead and recommend our study guide from ABA Source. We've spent a lot of time creating such an amazing study guide for you. It's a super affordable resource. You can download it right now. We've had great feedback from others that have used it, said it gave them the confidence they needed to go in and really kill that exam. Not only did they give them the confidence, but they actually passed their exam too, so there's that. Okay, the last and final point that I really need you guys to focus on when it comes to taking the exam is fluency. So what do I mean by fluency? Like, Anna, obviously I need to know everything I'm studying. Yes, but how quickly does the information come back to you? Now, why do I say this? Well, when I was taking my own RBT exam, nobody told me how little time I had in the room. So essentially there's 85 questions, you have 90 minutes to finish. And in retrospect, that sounds like plenty of time. But when it came down to it, I literally had seconds left to submit my actual exam in. So imagine if I hadn't been done and I had wasted all that time and I failed, not because I didn't know the material, but because I was too slow in knowing my material. That would be a really crappy way to fail, if you ask me. So how can we get fluent? How can we, really know our stuff and know it quickly? Well, of course, there's a good old flashcards. So get your vocab down on some flashcards and just, work on fluency that way. There's also something that we have created recently that I didn't have or think about when I was going through my own journey, and that is a RBT mock exam. Now, although obviously we don't know exactly what questions are on the RBT board exam, that would be really bad if we did. We base our questions from our mock exam off of all the information that the ACP does give us about what's on the actual exam. What can you do to work on your fluency? Well, you're gonna sit down with the exam and you're going to time yourself. So you have 90 minutes. Another thing that's really good to work on is to skip questions that don't come to you right away. That was one of the things that I noticed when I was going through the actual exam. I was skipping all of the questions pretty much in the beginning, and I was really freaking out because I was like, holy cow, I have barely answered anything. But it's funny how it works, because when you go back to check, somehow everything comes back to you. So I went back and I'm like, oh, I know this. How could I have missed it? So definitely work on your fluency. Whatever way you feel works best for you. If it's the flashcard route, go the flashcard route. If you think you could really benefit from taking a mock exam and timing yourself, that's also a really good way. But definitely work on your timing and be very, very mindful of your time when you're taking the exam. That's it, folks, for today's video. These very tips have been used by our own RBT trainees at ABA Source. We have had really good feedback when it came to these 4 points I mentioned today. Let me know down below if you end up passing your board exam because of these tips. It really helps make my day. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Catch you next time. Bye.